this is Dave from DaBelly, and we're at NAMM 2015. Today we're in the Phill Jones booth talking to Phill Jones and on Igor Saavedra. We're here talking about the Phill Jones line of product, of course, the signature amp series, or the bass series from Igor.
Okay, well the first thing with Igor is he's a very, very special, more than a bass player. Igor is a world-class composer, musician, and he's also has the technical knowledge about sound. So when Igor gave me his request, I went, wow, I love a challenge. And it was indeed a challenge to build an amp for Igor's specification, because his bass is so extended frequency range and his dynamic capability of playing is beyond what I've ever heard with any other bass player. So I knew straight away we had to build him an amp that was just right. So the first thing we did, we said, we have to build an amp for an ERB, an extended range bass. And there's nothing out there right now. I mean, most bass amps are 4-string, 5-string. They don't do the low F sharp, the C sharp. So we had to come up with a totally new speaker design and allow speaker to do that. So what we did, we redesigned the transducer, have a wider frequency response, higher efficiency, lower end power response. And on top of that, we made a very special amplifier. What Igor wants is purity. He wants the sound of the notes to come through from the string and the fingers. He doesn't want compression or over excessive EQ. He wants it as pure as it can be. You can see that by his bass. Straight through, no controls, and high-end cables throughout. We built an amp here. It's got minimal 5-band EQ. This is based on our already existing design that we did with Nathan East, the bass buddy, and we changed it for extended range bass. Simple, Class A circuitry, very pure. It's a hybrid amp. It's a pulse width modulation power amp, very, very highly efficient Class D amplifier, coupled to a very high current, high energy analog transformer power supply. That gives you the best of all worlds. Great control. This amp and speaker were designed together. They are designed to work with a filtering, with the vents, and everything was all done exactly to work together. So
now, as far as the cabinet, you're going with the smaller speakers, 5-inch, are they? Okay, I suppose you're getting a more punch out of that rather than the larger speakers, more resonant.
Well, think of it like this. You ever seen like a whale swimming in the ocean and then a school of fish? A school of fish can just sip at 90 degrees in an instant. You know, they have the same mass of the whale can't do that. That's the 18s and the 15s and the 10s. These are lightning fast. Not only that, you think of it, you take a car, a high performance automobile. Would you ever have a 1-cylinder engine in it?
Right.
You can have a V12, V8, V10. You know, each engine is a separate cylinder, is its own engine. A combination. You've got the same thing here. You've got 12 pistons, you know. They work as piston. They're more rigid, they're faster, higher power handling, because you've got all these voice coils. The combined motor strength in the coil area gives you a very cool running of the motors. That gives you greater dynamic range. Not only that, we have a very special voice coil. You can see, can I just show you here a little diagram on here. See this here? That's a conventional loudspeaker, 2-layer coil. All your signal goes to that thing there that makes the sound. We're using rectangular aluminum ribbon wire, copper clad. Much more expensive, much more precise in building that coil, but that gives you the sound. Greater dynamics, higher power handling, better transient response.
I spent a little time here in the booth, and the amps certainly have the punch and all the bottom that you'd expect out of a bass amp. I'm very impressed by the structure of the amplifier itself. The speakers, in particular, getting so much bottom off such a small speaker. Obviously you find the design it working perfectly for you.
Well, to me, the most important thing is the music. I believe the amplifier is a slave to the master. I wanted every nuance he plays, it's got to follow and track his fingers. If it doesn't do that, there's a biological feedback loop. You play here, here to here, goes through to the sound, back to here to here. If that chain is weakened or broken, you are going to fight and compensate. It'd be a bit like driving a car. You do 1 degree this way, the car goes 2 degrees. You go 1 degree, it goes 3 degrees. You'd be like impossible to control. You want to forget about you just want to play like it's an acoustic instrument, and that amp does everything you want it to do.
It's a beautiful design cabinet. I'm very impressed by it. Thank you much for your time today.